Hi everyone, just James here, okay? And I'm here to talk about a moment in time that I think doesn't get talked about quite enough. I like to call it the night Jessica Simpson slayed. Okay, now let me set the scene for you folks, okay? The year is 2000. We are in Jacksonville, Florida, and it is a special happening on television on a TV channel called Fox Family. Which, now I'm thinking about it, I don't think I had that channel. Was it basic cable? Was it on cable or is it public? I don't recall. I wasn't here for this. I never watched this, but it happened in a year when I was alive. This was 20 years ago, folks. I believe I was 10 years old. A much different time, the year 2000. But let me tell you, this was a mega card. All right, I watched this thing and I was enthralled by the names they got to do this, all right? We had Pink, Destiny's Child, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson, 98 Degrees, and then from there, it kind of trickles down. You know, it's Vitamin C, who is also very, very big. And then acts I never actually listened to because they weren't in my rotation, like Westlife, A-Teens, PYT, who I believe is a local band, and Boys and Girls Generation. United? Never heard of them, but you know, it's fine. We're moving on. This video is not about them. This video is about Jessica Simpson. Now, I have to say, there's often a lot of discourse when it comes to Jessica Simpson. Like, people like to make memes about her and poke fun of her. I personally never partook in that because I really like Jessica Simpson. And I've always liked her music and everything. So, anything she ever put out, I usually would consume. So, when I watched this, I was actually blown away. This was quite an interesting special, okay? Now, this special took place in Jacksonville, Florida in the year 2000 on Fox Family, and the special was called Summer Music Mania 2000. Give you some context, it was hosted by Bill Bellamy, who was a really big comedian at that time, who went on to have a much larger career and star in How to Be a Player and all these great movies. But you can tell it is a very awkward time because this thing looked really thrown together. And the fact they got all these big acts in one night for one night only performance, this crowd was hype. Like, looking at like every performance, they're on like an emotional sugar high. Like, everyone's enjoying this. And they kept teasing Jessica Simpson the whole night. Like, they did a lot of segments with her and she was looking fire that night. Like, she had these cute little tops on. Her hair was pulled back in like this little 60s like moment with a headband and the ponytail going back. It was really, really cute. It's very Austin Powers. I was really impressed. There was a moment that set the scene for us a little bit. She was made to interview 98 Degrees and she kept hinting at the fact that she seemed a little uncomfortable that Nick Lachey was going to be dancing with this sexy dancer girl.
I just wish like one of y'all would have to dance with a girl instead of Nick.
Put a pin in that. Remember that for tonight because it's going to be important when this performance happens later. Okay, other moments that stood out to me, I'm just going to go into like little moments that happened throughout the night that like kind of stood out to me and made me laugh. Mandy Moore is performing tonight and Bill Bellamy like interviews her a little bit and I think he low-key set her up because in a moment he's like, yeah, I heard it said that you have the best backup dancers of the whole night.
I heard you got the best dancers on this show.
I got the best dancers, and I'm waiting to see what other people are going to say about that, but I think I do.
And when it comes to Mandy Moore's performance, you're watching it, and it's just like, no dancing is happening whatsoever. I was cracking up. I was hyped, you know, I was ready for it. I was like, okay, she's doing Candy. Here we go. When are we going to go? The most dancing she did was like a move like this. I was living, though. It cracked me up. I was like, you set her up. And I will not neglect the other bands that are on the card tonight. We had the A-Teens, who apparently were like an ABBA cover band that they just, the record label transformed into like a girl group act. Like, that's fascinating. Like, they thought, you know what?
This could make some money.
And they completely shifted gears on that whole concept. And boom, they became an act. And then there was Westlife, who I've never heard of or know any of their songs. I apologize, my UK fans. I don't know. I was not there for that. They were not in my rotation. They didn't make it to Milwaukee. Same thing goes for PYT and Boys and Girls United. That didn't make it there. Sorry. Also, another thing that stuck out to me was like the real major acts of this night. For the most part, we're doing stool sets. Like, Britney Spears did one big high-energy number, and it was very early Britney Spears, okay? It's like Baby One More Time Britney Spears, so they hadn't quite figured out the live performance formula yet. So some things seemed a little thrown together, a little slapdash. It seemed like a lot of stuff was shopped for that day, and her hair extensions were not her friend today. Like, this was an off night for Britney. And it's also a live performance, Britney. Like, she was live singing, which means she's not going to be dancing. She has to sing live, so she's not going to go full out. And that's like the best part of a Britney Spears performance. The reel took too long, but when she got to it, it's like, okay, this is cute. And then the second number was a stool set where she did a slow ballad. Same thing goes for NSYNC. They opened on a high and then did a stool set. Destiny's Child, though, they didn't slack. Neither did Pink. All those girls turned it out, as they always do. We get to the top of the night, okay? There's only 4 acts left. And the top of this is Jessica Simpson. And now I went into this not thinking much of it. It's like, okay, I remember how she used to perform like in the height of her career in the Newlyweds, you know, and then everyone was like throwing crap at her. So let's see how this goes. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jessica Simpson was signed to Virgin, which is the record label owned by Tommy Mottola. And at that time, he had just divorced Mariah Carey, and he was on a mission to find the next Mariah. Jessica Simpson's package was very confusing. Okay, when she first came on the scene, they tried to market her as like a Christian singer. That didn't happen. They didn't see that for her. They shelved her first album and then completely shifted gears with her and did this insane pop song that samples John Cougar Mellencamp of all things. And it was a big smash hit called I Think I'm in Love. And you watch it, it is totally biting Mariah. Like, it's totally the fantasy video, but Jessica Simpson. It's amazing. So this song was hot. Okay, so she came out and she's performing I Think I'm in Love. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, the hair's still cute. Let's get into it. Okay, the vocals were good. And she's dancing and singing live. I was like, Jessica's kind of turning it. Like, I was taken aback because, like, I'm so used to the memes where everyone kind of cuts her down all the time. It's like, Jessica, damn. Like, you gotta know the context of this, okay? Her album was shelved. Her record label was telling her constantly she was too fat to be a pop star. Half the Mickey Mouse Club was there that she did not get in. And Nick Lachey is bragging all night that he's gonna do this sexy dance with another dancer while she's dating him. She took all that anger and she put that in this performance. And it shows, okay? Like, she turned it out. And like, normally all the acts were doing 2 numbers. She only did 1. So she thought, you know what?
I'm gonna show these girls.
That was another thing. It's just like the things I wasn't expecting. Like, all the big acts were like either taking it easy or taking it slow. The other acts were basically switching it up and trying different stuff. So like 98 Degrees closed this night. They did an up-tempo number. I'm like, okay, range. But yeah, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Jessica. But Jessica was turning it out. She finishes it all off with the choreo and everything. Like, she's doing the full choreo from I Think I'm in Love music video. And ends it on a high. And the crowd is going nuts. Like, this crowd was eating everyone up. But as soon as Jessica Simpson came out, I always forget just how big of a pop star she was. Like, she was a huge deal. And it showed. I was like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, you stand alone in the pop girlies. I can see it now. I wanted to bring attention to this moment because I don't think it talks about enough that Jessica Simpson had the potential to be a major pop star. It just was a fact that no one else saw that for her. And it took reality TV to really launch her to the success that she is now. But think about it. If she had better guidance, better songs, and a lot better management, I feel like she could have been a much different star. But like, I was sitting there like, I was fully into it, okay? Like, yeah, I remember this song was big, especially in Milwaukee. That song went 6 times platinum in Milwaukee, okay? Like, we love that song there. I'm a little sad she didn't do I Wanna Love You Forever. That would have been a nice little top off the night to have her have a slow moment, because she does eat that song. Like, that song does eat. But yeah, Jessica Simpson, the night she slayed. I want you all to remember this night and its importance, because it's often overlooked in history. And I'm here to uncover these little moments in history that people forget. I'm saying this like it's a really deep thing, but it's important to me, okay? Just remember, Jessica Simpson slayed that night, okay? And this night will live on forever. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been fun. Like, I want to take little moments to like talk about pop culture moments I'm obsessed with, and hopefully you will discover for yourself these little moments that may have passed you by. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye!
I think I'm in love.